Hi everybody, welcome. It's Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, so it's time for Stamping with Denise. Welcome, so glad you could join me. Hope you had a great weekend. I did. I had a long weekend. I took Friday off, so it's nice to have an extended weekend once in a while. So let me pull this up here on my computer. And share this. I'll give it just a second for everybody to join us. So, thank you so much for joining me. If you remember last week, I made this great fun fold Christmas card that featured so much of our great designer series paper. Remember that sale's still going on until the end of the month, so now's a great time to stock up. So this card is going to go out to somebody from last week who shared my video, and that's what I ask. If you like what you see and think your friends would like it, please share it. Comment share down below, and you might get a chance to win the project I work on tonight. But the winner for this week, the card I made last week's video, is Melanie Jarjosa. So Melanie, I will get this to you Saturday when you come for the Christmas card class. So now you've already got an extra card to add to your Christmas cards for this year. So thank you everybody, I do appreciate it. Hello Paula, welcome. Okay. So, let's see where to start. I guess what I'll do is I will go ahead and put the phone up in the holder. I've got it I'm going to orient it a little differently this time. I'm experimenting with lighting and stuff like that. So give me a second here. I'm going to put it up in the holder. I'm going to turn it around and do that. So hang tight while I put you up. Okay. Like I said, hopefully everybody had a great weekend. I had a nice extended weekend. I had 2 classes in my home studio. One was my monthly card class, and the other was a fun group of ladies who wanted to make some Christmas cards. So we made 2 of the gnome Christmas 2 cards with the gnome Christmas set, and 2 with the snowman one that carried over. So I thought I'd share with you. These were a couple of the cards we made in my monthly card class. I wanted to feature the Forever Gold designer series paper, or designer, what's it called? Forever Gold Specialty Designer Series paper. And I've had it out before. I actually used it on one of the cards that I showed you last week. It's bright gold. Now I have two packages combined here, but you get 3 of each sheet. So let's find some sheets that are maybe complete here to show you. And watch your eyes, you might get blinded. It's such gorgeous. It's gold on one side and it is white on the other. So that means it's just right for all kinds of decorating. So this one has a nice fun wreath on it. I've used these in a couple of videos I've done for you. Then you go to the back, and there's 3 sheets of card fronts. This was here, this one was here, and then I'm going to use this one today. And then these kind of are more filled in. I used those when I did a wreath. I thought because they kind of look like a front door. So anyway, this is great. It's so versatile. It's a lot of fun to work with, and there's a lot of product here and a lot of wow factor. So I thought I'd show you these 2 cards. So this one we just used right out of the package, glued it down, and then colored it in with the Stampin' Right markers, like this one here. You know, just not the alcohol markers, but the Stampin' Right markers. I started to use the alcohol markers, the blends, but I was having a terrible time with bleeding, and so like this one down here, this leaf down here is a different color because I was using the blends on it, and bled kind of bad, so that's why my sentiment was put down there. But I had good luck. I just used 2 different shades of green as Stampin' Right markers. This one was the Just Jade, which coordinates with this paper right here. So everybody really liked these cards. And then this one, actually we used the white side of it and we colored it with soft suede to give it this fun, it's kind of a rustic look, I think. And so I thought I'd show you how to do it. I'm going to do it on a different card with a different color and see how it turns out. I'll show you what I played with. I played with this, I used Mossy Meadow on it and put it on, I believe that's soft Seafoam. Okay. Oh, you know what I don't have written down are my measurements. Let me pull those up here just a second. Well, hello, Joan. Thank you for joining. Let's see here. So, of course, my base is half of an 8.5 by 11 inch piece of paper, and then it's folded in half. So, the smaller mat, well, let me just pull it over as long as we're going. Okay. So this piece is 5.5 by 11, and it's folded in half. This piece of Mossy Meadow is 3 5/8 by 5 1/8. This piece of soft Seafoam is 3.5 by 5, and then this is going to go right on top of it, because this must be, yeah, it's 4 3/4 by 3 1/4, so I just went up a 1/2 inch, and so that gives you a 1/4 margin on either side. So I thought we'd get started, and I couldn't decide what colors to use, and I thought, well, since these were like leaves and flowers, I would go ahead and just do a green. So I started out on this one. I did some of it in Old Olive and some of it in Mossy Meadow because I was trying to get some different shades. It wasn't working so hot. I wasn't that pleased with it, so I ended up going over all of it with Mossy Meadow. So you can put your ink on, you can use a brayer, you could use a dauber, but I just use my sponges, you know, I cut them in sections, and I know that's got some pink on there. People get panicked, but you know what? I wash them out. A lot of people have one, you know, sponge for each color, and just wash it out. So I'm just gonna take this and really, you know, kind of cover this up with, you know, give it a good inking, so to speak. Got to be careful. Some of these are kind of fragile and they will bend, so it's better to blot, you know, kind of blot it, dab it up and down rather than rub it. Let me turn this around here. Oh, I'm gonna get some more on there too. So, yeah, I decided to show you this rather than a Christmas card this week. Like I said, I'm really liking this gold specialty DSP. It's not part of the sale, but you know, if you're placing an order and stocking up, you might as well get a package of this. It goes a long, long way. Okay, I'm gonna check. Oh, I can see I've got a couple spots I haven't quite. And, you know, I just kept going over it till it was covered. I can see I don't have a lot there. And some of these are kind of fragile, so I'm being kind of careful. You know what, I probably should have tried using one of the more full, you know, ones that, and see what they used a different color. Let's see. Yeah, that's okay. It doesn't have to be, I'm going to put a little bit more right on this part here, because it's a little bit lighter. It's not quite as heavy. I think my ink pad's getting a little dry too, so I need to probably re-ink it, but I hate to re-ink it before I'm doing something like this, because inevitably I'll put too much ink on it and make a mess. Let's see. Then you almost have to turn it over on something that doesn't have ink. Let's see, how's that look? Pretty good. Let me just do this part right here. Okay, I'm good with that. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the sentiment. Now I'm not going to glue this down yet because if something happens and I screw up the stamping, I can flip it over. And this also gives me a chance to see, you know, again, how my coloring was. And I'm using this stamp. It says, thinking of you with all my heart. It's out of the Peaceful Moments. I like this stamp set because it has so many different sentiments in it. So let me ink it up. Like I said, I'm not glued down yet. Yep, good, okay. Okay, see, then this way I can do better at getting it placed. There you go, much better. Because I'm one of those, I try to stamp before we glue because at least then that way you can turn it over. If you glue first, you're kind of stuck. So I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to put glue. Yes, I'm going to put glue on the gold side. Again, with this Tombow glue, you're going to be very, you know, you just need little dots because it will ooze out. But you do want to get, you know, a good, you know, amount, especially along the edges and kind of toward the ends of these, you know, leaves if you can. You may not be able to, and that's okay. Put a little bit there. You can see I'm really not putting very much. I'm putting just a dab because it will ooze, and I'm just trying to put a little bit there. I was wondering, I wasn't sure I was going to get on. I was having some technical difficulties. I don't know if it was with Facebook or my internet or what. My youngest son is has a new job. He's working from home, but it uses a lot of internet, you know, bandwidth. And my husband, and he was working on something for work, and my husband had a virtual meeting tonight, so I was hoping I wasn't going to get delayed. Okay, I think we have things. Oh, I know where I want to. Oh, I did get those. Okay. So I didn't know. So I had to kind of reboot things at the last minute and keeping my fingers crossed. So I'm going to place this down here. And you know what? It's not evenly colored, you know, with the Mossy Meadow, but it's absolutely okay. And there is that. That's all there was to that. And I thought that was pretty easy. I like it. And let's put our layers together and give it a little bit of bling here. So this is Mossy Meadow and Soft Seafoam that I'm using for this card. I don't know, I just thought since it was leaves, it was best done with in green. I don't know. Okay. I would love to see someone do it in some non-traditional colors. On this card here, we went over it with soft suede, and I think it almost looks like it's cork or wood. I think it's kind of cool looking. Okay. So there we go. We've got that done. Now, the only thing I have left, really, hold on a sec. Get it adjusted. There we go. Okay. I did put a little bit of bling on there. I put some rhinestones. Now, the rhinestones that are currently in the catalog are the Holiday Rhinestone Basics. And the green that's in there is the Shaded Spruce. And I just didn't think that color looked right. Now, I have a package of the Retired Noble Peacock Rhinestones. And they have Old Olive in there. So I'm going to use those. But let me tell you, don't worry if you don't have this. You can color our rhinestones with your Stampin' blends. Let's see, is this the... All you have to do is take your Old Olive Stampin' blends and one of our clear rhinestones and color it. You just need to let it dry for a little bit before you pick it up and use it, because you have the potential to smear on your project. Ask me how I know. Yep. I've been there, done that, and had to redo. So I just kind of picked one of these little round things that's on each these plants to put it on. But if you're going to do this, make sure it's one you've put glue on the back of, okay? If there's one you don't have glue on, don't put a rhinestone on it, because you're asking for it to get torn. So that's why I made sure I had glue on all of them. So there we go. I mean, you could put a few more. You know, if you used a different color, you could certainly do kind of like what we did here and color in some of the leaves, you know, to give it a little more interest. I decided on this one less was a little more, but I kind of like the tone-on-tone green. And it's kind of a versatile card. It could be a birthday, it could be I'm sorry, it could be a, you know, good luck, I don't know, you know, anything. So that is all there is to using or to coloring the back of these, of the gold, Forever Gold specialty designer series paper. So that's all I have for tonight. That was quick and simple. And I want to thank you all for joining me tonight. And I will see you next week at 8 p.m. Eastern for Stamping with Denise. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. Bye now.